Yikes. Holy hell. Fucking yikes. Jesus. Jesus. Thank God I knocked on wood last night in the recap, and y'all can't blame me for what the hell happened tonight. My God, that was so bad. That was so bad. In basically all facets of the game, my God. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to TTP Sports. And the Phillies, they in fact lose this series to the Cincinnati Reds, dropping the final two games, and tonight just being, oh my God, the most sour cherry on top in the world by getting shut out by a score of 8-0. And the offense, realistically, has been the same the past few games. And we did talk about the bottom of the lineup with the way they were chipping in. That's went away, and we all knew that wasn't sustainable, and that puts a little bit of alarms on the top of the lineup that's been really struggling. Kyle Schwarber recently has just been all home run or nothing. Bryce Harper has really struggled. I think we really need to point that out. Bryce Harper has really struggled, realistically, since the not the All-Star break, since the trade deadline. He has not been good at the plate. I know we had the home run fucking last night, but that was in garbage time, blah, 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 blah. Bryce Harper has not looked good. We're also not going to, with Nick Castellanos and him just looking putrid at the plate for a very long time now. His on-base percentage has dropped below 300, and his slugging percentage is in threat of dropping below 400. That's how bad Nick Castellanos has been for a decent while now. And now with your bottom of the lineup not contributing, which, like we said, wasn't sustainable, it does put those eyes on the top of the lineup, because when Trey Turner, he has been getting on base more than some of the top guys in the lineup, and really, even though he still hasn't had that gigantic of an impact, when he gets on base, you really can't drive him home because the other guys aren't hitting. You once again had a chance to get back into the game. It was 1-0. I believe this was in the top of the sixth inning before everything fell apart for Christopher Sanchez on the mound, and we will get to Christopher Sanchez in a little bit. Kyle Schwarber had a 2-out double, and Bryce Harper could not bring him home with 2 outs. So you're talking about still being down 1-0 when you could have tied the game in that goddamn instance. What else? The offense just wasn't good. That is bottom line. The offense was not good, and it hasn't been good for the past couple of games. I know they had the big comeback on Monday, which was still very fun, but these past 2 nights offensively, I gave them more of a break last night, but tonight you needed to show up. You needed to show up for your pitcher on the mound. And that's not to say that Christopher Sanchez was terrible. He was good for 95% of the game, and then just everything came crashing down with 2 outs in the bottom of the 6th inning. For some reason, he struggled in at-bats to Austin Hayes all night. I have no idea why, but it's just Austin Hayes. He gets that double. It goes down the line. Ellie De La Cruz is going on the wrong contact, or it was a run and hit, or it was a run and hit type of situation, a hit and run type of situation. So Hayes gets the double down the line. Cruz scores easily, and it becomes 2-0. But then, Jesus Christ, the moment where it was just like, what the fuck just fucking happened? You have Marte doubling down the line, and I guess... No, Brandon Marsh kind of overran the ball on the LA De La Cruz when he was running around the bases, but Cruz was probably going to score regardless. So Marte hits it down the left field line, Hayes scores easily, and Marsh decided to throw home. He basically almost sails it over JT Realmuto. He had to jump like 50 feet in order to knock the ball down. He couldn't corral it. But then the ball goes a little bit to his side where Christopher Sanchez is standing basically. And then Marte decides to go to third base. And then Christopher Sanchez decided to throw to third base to try to get him out. And the thrower's nowhere close to Otto Kemp's glove. And it goes into the outfield. And Marte scores, which basically sums it up to being a fucking Little League inside the park home run. Or a Little League home run. Like, that was just a very bad stretch defensively. It was very putrid. It was very ugly to watch. It was like, what the fuck was even happening at that point? And then they were trying to say on the broadcast that the umpire at third base was signaling, like, runner's interference or something like that on Bryson Stott, which would have awarded Marte third base regardless, because I guess Bryson Stott was in the path of Marte circling around second base. So that just turned into an entire disaster in itself. And then you bring in Jordan Romano in what was at the the bottom of the seventh inning, and then he allows a lot of base runners, and then he allows a grand slam to Andujar, and there's oh, it was not fun. Oh, it was not fun. My God. My God. And what was a very good feeling for the past couple of series, this one really leaves a gigantic sour taste in your mouth because, oh my God, of course they just found a way to put a sour taste in your mouth. So with this loss, that puts you now 4.5 games above the New York Mets in the NL East. And right now, the Mets and the Braves are in a rain delay. So I'm not even sure. Okay, it does say they're getting underway right now. So that game is just starting in the top of the first inning after the rain delay. So you'll find out whatever happens in that game later tonight, whether you'll still be 5 games up on the Mets or 4 games now up on the Mets, because if things could change very quickly, like I said. That's why this National Series this weekend, this 4 games against a very bad Washington Nationals team, you need to sweep them. You need to sweep them. I understand 4-game series against any type of opponent is very hard to do. I understand that, but you need to go in here, especially after the vibes that you just killed in this week. You have to go to Washington. You have to sweep. You have to sweep. I would be disappointed if you won 3 of 4. I would be. But that also determines what the Mets do this weekend as well against the Seattle Mariners. But I need you to look good as well. I need you to take care of business against a very bad Washington Nationals team. You need to take care of business. And I understand record-wise for the past couple of seasons against Washington, the Phillies have been very successful, so the odds are in your favor. But right now, with the fucking way the offense is swinging the bats, it's just not the best. It is not the best. Offensively, right now, Julian does say it in the chat, you can't trust the offense, and definitely that is very warranted. Right now, the offense is in a very big dry spell after scoring a bunch of runs in that Friday game against Texas, and they still swept Texas, and I still give them a lot of credit for that because they pitched well, they had some timely hits, something that we really never saw from the bottom of the lineup. But these past couple of games, the top of the lineup is very struggling. It's really struggling, the top of the lineup specifically. And we all knew the bottom of the lineup coming up clutch wasn't going to be sustainable over a long stretch of period of time. We knew that, but your top of the lineup needs to get going. And we always brought up that, when you have your 2 superstars, Kyle Schwarber, Bryce Harper, they do their thing. They need that third guy, maybe a different third guy every different night. Right now, those 2 guys aren't doing their thing, Schwarber and Harper. Right now, Schwarber is all home run or nothing, so he's been struggling for a little bit, and Bryce has been struggling for the past couple of weeks. I think he's been struggling since the trade deadline. I actually do want to see his past stretch here, actually, Bryce Harper, just to see where he's realistically at in the past few weeks or the past few games. I'll probably get a good sense of that from MLB.com's because they have that really good game sample size. Let's see. So Bryce Harper, let's go to his last stretch right here. So Bryce Harper in his last 15 games, 57 at bats, 13 hits, 3 home runs, 7 RBI, 19 strikeouts. He has been striking out a lot recently. So in the past 15 games, he's batting .228 with a .279 on base and a .474 slug. And then in these past 7 games, which is this, I'm assuming it's not counting this series right now. Well, it's not counting tonight's game. It's counting the last 2 games, the Rangers series, and a little bit of the series before that. But still, in his last 7 games, he's batting .143 with a .172 on base and a .321 slug. He has no walks, and he has 12 strikeouts. He has 1 home run in that span, which was last night in Cincinnati, 2 RBI, 4 hits in that span. He is really going through it. And in his last 30 games in totality, 265 average, 338 on base, and a 615 slug. He had 9 home runs in that span. He's really struggling. He is really struggling. Really struggling. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. I want to see overall month-wise. So this is May, this is June, this is July, this is August so far. Yeah, he has really struggled in the month of August. He has really struggled since the calendar flipped to August, realistically, after the trade deadline. Because if you look at his month of July was very good. 291 average, 378 on base, 628 slug. He had 6 home runs, This month he's struggled a lot, and that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 games. That is 12 games in the month of August he has struggled. He's batting 196 with a 245 on base and a 475 slug in the month of August. He is really struggling in the month of August. Really struggling. And I think that needs to be said more. This month he has not been good. I want to see Schwarber's numbers, actually. What are Schwarber's numbers this month? I know he has a lot of home runs, but I just want to see. Just want to see. What has Schwarber been like this month? What has Schwarber been like this month? So let's go to the month of August for Kyle Schwarber. Let's see. Batting 217 with a 294 on base and a 587 slugging. So even Schwarber's not walking that much. Like I said, he's home run or nothing right now. He is home run or nothing right now. 5 home runs, 11 RBIs. He only has 4 walks this month. He has 19 strikeouts. So even Schwarber's going through it. That's crazy. What are Trey Turner's numbers this month? They're probably like around the same, I would guess. Let's look at his month of August. Trey Turner's month of August. Batting 208 with a 296 on base and a 375 slug. Not good. In July, he was batting 268, 330 on base, 351 slug. In the month of, June, he was batting 286, blah, blah, blah. 317 in the month of May, 292 in the month of April. And your top 3 guys are not going well. I really need to see Castellanos' numbers. Honest to God, I need to see Castellanos' numbers just to reflect how bad they are, because they've been bad for a while. And Castellanos, that is, where is he at? There he is. Let's look at his game logs. Jesus Christ, it's bad. It is bad. I just saw the last 7 games. It's bad. So in the month of August, he's batting 163 with a 163 on base and a 233 slug. He has 1 home run this month. He has struck out 13 times. He has no walks. And then if you go to his month of August, he batted 207, or the month of July, he batted 207 with a 242 on base and a 356 slug with 4 home runs, no walks, and 21 strikeouts. After he actually had a pretty good month of June. He was very good in the month of June. And he was very good in the month of May. And he was okay in the month of April. So May and June, he was actually very good. But then July and August have been terrible for him. That is crazy. That is crazy. Who else? Who else should I look at? Let me look at JT. I'm just trying to reflect on how badly a lot of guys are going right now in this month offensively. JT's actually had a pretty solid month, 278 average, 333 on base, 361 slug. That's really what JT's numbers have been. July, he was very good, though. We all know that. July, he was very good. June, he was solid. May, he really struggled. In April, he was okay. So, JT's been fine. He hasn't been realistically your issue. Yeah, it's really just those guys that you're looking at. Because Brandon Marsh, what are Brandon Marsh's numbers? Because we all know Brandon Marsh has been hot for a really long stretch here. Brandon Marsh is batting 333 with a 321 on base and a 704 slug in this month. He's been batting very good. July, he was solid, and then, in June, he was very good offensively. Like I said, he's been very good offensively for a long time this season. Realistically, just besides the first month of the season where he didn't record a hit, he's actually been very good offensively, which is very shocking. What else? Who else should I look at? Let me look at Bryson. I'm just trying to go over the entire lineup, just to look at how many guys are struggling this month. Bryson Stott's numbers have been very good this month. 360 average, 433 on base, 520 slug. Last month this month, realistically, he has been very good. So it's not Marsh, it's not Stott. Those guys aren't the issue right now. It's your top guys. That is the major issue. We know what Otto Kemp is. We know what Max Kepler is. Honest to God, I want to see Max Kepler's numbers just to look and see what they are. He's batting 250 this month. Some of his numbers are even better than some of the other guys. Jesus Christ. It's 500 slugging. Even though he only has 1 home run this month. That's funny. That is funny. He does have a couple of extra base hits, actually. He has 2 doubles. He has a home run. That's Max Kepler, like, Jesus. Let me look at Edmundo Sosa's numbers. What has Sosa been like this month? Where is Edmundo Sosa? I just want to look. I'm just looking. I'm just doing this for research purposes. Fellas. Sosa batting .257 with a .257 on base and a .457 slug. He hasn't walked at all this month. Got 2 home runs, got 2 RBI, so he hasn't been the best. Stott and Marsh have been your best bats this month. Stott and Marsh, with the occasional home run barrage by Schwarber. It's crazy. It's crazy. Like, dare I say that this lineup does need an Alec Boehm back in it? I know Alec Boehm hasn't been the best this year, but it definitely makes your lineup deeper. Definitely does. It's just, it's crazy. It's crazy. What else? I'm just trying to look at something else here. Nope. That's pretty much for the offensive standpoint. They just haven't been good this month. Besides, like, a couple of players, Marsh and Stott have been their best players this month. So if you look at the lineup today, Trey Turner and Kyle Schwarber both 1 for 4. Schwarber had 3 strikeouts. Bryce was 0 for 4 with 3 strikeouts. JT over 3. Marchand eventually came in the pinch hit in the 9th inning. Castellanos over 4 with 2 strikeouts. Marsh over 3. Bader 0 for 2 with a walk. Stott 1 for 3. The Phillies only had 3 hits tonight. 3. And they actually ended the no-hit bid earlier than the past 2 games. I believe it was like in, like, what was it? Who had the first hit? Who had the first hit? Was it Stott? I think it was Stott in, like, the 3rd inning or something like that. So they didn't get perfect game through, like, 5 innings at least. Oh, God. Oh, God. And for Christopher Sanchez's standpoint, do I put some blame on him? He did implode in certain situations with 2 outs. He definitely did. The first run he allowed to the Reds was a 2-out walk, then a 2-out double. So he imploded a little bit with 2 outs and base runners on. And then in that bottom of the 6th inning where the defense didn't help him whatsoever, but he's also part of the reason why the defense was bad because of that throw into the outfield, my God. So Christopher Sanchez was mostly good. It's just he fell apart in situations where he needed to be better. 6 innings, 7 hits, 4 runs, 3 earned, 1 walk, 6 strikeouts on 81 pitches. Then Romano came in, allowed the grand slam, and then Joe Ross finished off for the rest of the pitchers. Yeah, that's basically it. Like, where he allowed those runs, Christopher Sanchez, that is, like I said, just 2 outs, 2-out situations. If you go to that bottom of the 4th inning, he walked Austin Hayes on 5 pitches, and then the first pitch to Marte doubled and scored the run, which gave the Reds that 1-0 lead. Then you go to that bottom of the 6th inning, De La Cruz with the single. There was 2 outs in this situation. Austin Hayes up 2-1 on the count. He doubled down the left field line, which was the hit and run, and De La Cruz scored. And then Marte, Jesus Christ, that was just ugly. That was just ugly. That was just ugly. That was just ugly. Holy shit. And then 7th inning was Romano's implosion, and that was basically it. Yeah, that was it. That was basically it. This game provided nothing else. This game provided nothing else besides that. So, just very, very bad. And this does, not to go like full diving into the negatives today, because I really don't want to do that, because I know this series, I know they've been playing better over the long haul over the past few weeks since the trade deadline. This series really does sour that. But this also is a reason why the Phillies can lose a wild card series. That's just, everyone says, like, oh, the Phillies, they go into a wild card series, it's automatic for them because they always win the wild card series. Not an automatic. Not an automatic. Yeah, you'll have the pitchers for it. You'll have Wheeler, you'll have Sanchez, you'll have Nola most likely. But it's, right now, you can't guarantee that with the offense. You just can't with the 3-game wild card series because you don't know which version of the offense you're getting. You really just don't. So, this series does show why the Phillies can easily lose a wild card series, and why I keep saying that winning the division is a must and getting a bye week is the must. That's what they need. It's really what they need. What else? No, on this game, that's pretty much it. Went over a lot of the guys that have been struggling. I think Alec Boehm had another rehab game today, and he hit a home run, which was his first hit of the rehab assignment. So I'm not entirely sure when he'll be back. They're saying that Sunday's game against the Nationals, the pitching matchup, is to be determined, even though that's when they're expecting Nola to be back. So I'm not sure if they're just waiting a little bit or something like that, and then they put Nola into the rotation. I'm not entirely sure. So that's something that you have to wait for. But yeah, this series really leaves a sour taste in your mouth. I feel like you really have to sweep Washington. You really just do. And if we're just looking at Washington in general, they just lost a series to the Royals, even though they won tonight. They won a series against the Giants. They lost a series against the Athletics. They got swept by the Brewers. They lost a series to the Astros. So they're a bad team. They're a bad team. There's nothing around that. They're a bad team. They have a couple of good players in their lineup, which is C.J. Abrams and James Wood. But besides that, it's really just they're not a good team. They are not a good team. They're not a good pitching staff, and you need to take advantage of that. If you just look at their entire lineup, who's this? Did this guy just get called up or something like that? I'm just trying to look at their lineup in general. Yeah, this guy probably just got called up or something. I'm just trying to look at their lineup. Realistically, for most of their guys that have played the entire season, no guy has an average above 270. No one in their lineup has an average above 270. James Wood has been good. James Wood is a good power bat. He's their leadoff hitter right now. Abrams has been solid. But besides that, their lineup is not good. And then if we're looking at the pitching matchups, just in general for the week, and I just want to see the pitching matchup specifically. Jesus Luzardo against Brad Lord. He's a bullpen guy, converted starter, it looks like. Yes, it is. So I don't know what to expect from that. Then Zach Wheeler on Friday against Mackenzie Gore. Mackenzie Gore has not been good lately. Even though in his last start he went 6 innings and 0 earned runs, struck out 10 against the Giants. He had back-to-back starts where he gave up 5 earned runs or more, 6 earned runs or more actually. And that's also a stretch where 3 of 4 starts where he allowed 6 more earned runs or more. So to say he has not been good lately, that is the factor. That is a fact. He has not been good lately. His last start against the Phillies, which was April 29th, he allowed 3 earned runs in 6 innings of work, 2 home runs allowed specifically. And then we all know the opening day start where he struck out 13, went 6 shutout innings against the Phillies. And yeah, but besides that, he has not been good lately. And then for Saturday's game, Taijuan Walker is expected to pitch against Cade Cavalli. He is a 3.86 ERA. He's a guy that looks like he just joined the rotation, most likely. Yep, he just joined the rotation, most likely just got called up. So really don't know what to expect from him. He allowed 4 earned runs against the Royals, and then no earned runs against the Athletics. And then on Sunday is most likely going to be Aaron Nola. Right now it's to be determined against Mitchell Parker, 7-13 with a 5.55 ERA. Not good. Not good. This Nationals team, they're not good. You got to beat them. You got to spank them. You got to crush them. You got to win 3 of 4 at least, even though I'm demanding sweep. Even though you got to sweep them. You got to sweep them. They're 48-72. Got to sweep them. They're 4-6 in their last 10. They're 21 games out of the freaking division. They're just bad. They're bad. They're bad. They're actually worse at home than they are on the road, which is shocking. So I'm not even gonna say anything. I'm just not even gonna say anything. Jesus Christ. It's not good. Not good. Not good. What else? What else? Yeah, the Mets are already beating the Braves right now, so yeah, just don't expect much from this series from the Mets and the Braves. Mets are most likely going to sweep them because the Braves are just that bad. Anything else on the Twitterverse? No, I don't think there is. Phillies were scoreless in 25 of 27 innings against the Reds. Jesus Christ. That's how bad the offense was. My God. Nope. 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 I don't know. Do you think this appearance for Jordan Romano sealed his fate? When Aaron Nola comes back, does Jordan Romano get DFA'd? Possibility. That also means Joe Ross is still on the roster. But I think at this point you need to cut ties with the Jordan Romano experience. I think this appearance should cut ties. I think I actually saw a tweet right here that just goes through his ERA per month. And Jordan Romano has a 7.24 ERA this season. In March and April, he had a 12.48 ERA. Jesus. In May, it was actually pretty good, 2.53. But then every since then, it's been shit again. June, 7.27. July, 5.19. August, 16.36. Jesus. Jesus. God. How? How is it that bad? How are you that bad? It is crazy. It is fucking crazy. And the crazy thing with Jordan Romano is, it's either he allows no earned runs or he fucking implodes. That is the crazy thing. It's either no earned runs or implosion. There's nothing in between with him. It's just all or nothing. Which is crazy. And the Braves have the bases loaded. 2-0 lead in the bottom of the first. 1 out. Who's Carlos Carrasco. That makes sense. That makes sense. He's on the mound for the Braves. Carlos Carrasco, that is. Even though the Phillies would probably struggle against him. Yeah. 2 of your next 3 series are against the Washington Nationals. You got to win at least 6 of those. You got to win 6 of those 7. Honest to God, do I demand winning all 7 of the games against Washington? Yes. Yes. They are a team that you should beat a bunch. Beat a bunch. And because this is the last 2 times you're facing Washington this season, in between that is Seattle. And then after that stretch, it's New York, it's Atlanta, it's Milwaukee. Then Miami, then the Mets again, then the Royals, Dodgers, Arizona, Miami, Minnesota to close out the year. Not that many series left, boys. We're in the halfway point of August, and there are 4 series left or 5 series left this month. It's crazy. It's absolutely insane. Offense tonight, no bueno. No bueno. So, get to the voicemail line as my freaking headphones get tangled up here, and I almost unplug them. Turn this on for you boys so you can actually hear it. And we got 2 calls. Let's go to Zach first because Zach said he is ranting in the call. So let's hear what Zach's rant is.
Oh, this baseball team. My God. I love them sometimes, and I really fucking hate them the other times. There's no in between. Man, like, I just want to believe in them. I just want to believe. And they going out and do this shit that makes me think they got no fucking chance to go deep in October. I mean, this lineup is pathetic. Who are your top 3 guys? What are they doing? They're doing nothing to impact winning. Alec Bohm will come back. What's that going to do? And you made the point, you know. The bottom of the order was coming through for you. They were really carrying. That's not sustainable. We all knew that. You figured your big horses would fucking step up eventually. But they're just too flawed for their own good, man. I can't believe I really started believing in them, but they remind you of who they really are. This is who they are, man. I don't know. Maybe they could get hot in October. Like, that's the kind of team they are. No level of consistency whatsoever. And what the fuck was that defense? Little League home run? Dog. I played Beer League the other night. We lost 14-1. I reckon our defense wasn't that bad. I mean, seriously, dude. You know, Christopher Sanchez, I guess it'll say quality start. Whatever. Jordan Romano, I really don't care to say his name correctly anymore. He doesn't earn anybody's respect. This guy is dog shit. DFA him immediately. When Nola gets back, he's got to go. I don't care. He's the worst damn pitcher I've ever seen in my life. Okay? Whew. I don't know, man. This fucking team. Why are they like this? But hey, we're only, 2 weeks away from Eagles football? Something a lot easier to stomach. Go Birds. Peace. You're not going to go Phils for me tonight.
Zach has been really through the roller coaster of emotions the past couple of days. He went from full believing after the weekend to, like, I hate this team again. Which I don't blame him. I'm still, like, in, like, I'll just take the journey mode. Still just I'm in the let them take them on the journey mode, but also in that, like, statement, like, you still know who they are. I'm just willing to let it go further. You know what I mean? I guess I'm willing to say I'm willing to get hurt again. I guess that's the full description. Jonathan texted in, it is 8-0, and the Reds put their closer in. Did they? Did they actually put their closer in? I did not know that. Did not know that. Let's get to Sean.
Well, the tide has definitely turned with this road trip. I can't say I'm surprised, though. I mean, Cincinnati, say what you want, they're still in the hunt for a wild card, and they do have talented arms. I mean, Andrew Abbott's had a good year. Hunter Green was the first overall pick. But again, I've said it over and over and over again. You have such pressure put on your starter because you have a lineup that just can't hit. And as much as we want to laud Dombrowski about the Duran acquisition, what did he do for the offense? Is Harrison Bader that much of a difference maker to this team? I don't think so. I mean, it's the same guys you're rolling out there minus Alec Bohm. And again, Justin Crawford flounders in the minors hitting .330. I don't understand it. I mean, Otto Kemp was doing well when he first came up, but I would deactivate him back to the minor leagues and bring Justin Crawford up immediately. What have you got to lose? I mean, this team, again, offense is a major problem, has been a major problem for years, and continues to be a major problem. And that's why series like this happen. An up and down offense leads to really, really good or really, really bad results.
But Justin Crawford is not going to solve this. I know you've been on, what do you have left to lose phase. You have to really stunt Justin Crawford's growth. Because you're talking about bringing up a very young guy, 21, 22 years old. I understand the numbers are the numbers down in AAA. His ground ball rate, he does not lift the ball in the air. His ground ball rate is above 60%. That's not sustainable in Major League Baseball. It's different when you're playing in AAA where the talent is not as good. When you go up to Major League Baseball, if you're hitting the ball on the ground as much as Justin Crawford does, you're probably not going to find as much success. He needs to learn to lift the ball in the air. That's why a lot of his critics say that's his major flaw offensively. I understand that he has, he can hit left-handed pitching, he can get on base, he can steal bases and all that stuff, but you're putting a lot of pressure on, hey, come up, we're in a major playoff race, kid. We're in a major division race. We're trying to win a World Series. Go have at it, kid. Go have at it. I mean, I feel like that's doing a disservice to Justin Crawford, in my personal opinion. Personally, I would have traded Justin Crawford to get a better bat in this lineup. That's why we were so gung-ho of getting Steven Kwan and all that stuff to this lineup, because that probably would have made the top of the lineup a little bit more better. When you have two guys with the, Steven Kwan, a very pesty bat that can get on base, steal bags and all that stuff. Same thing with Trey Turner. You have those two guys in front of Bryce Harper and Kyle Schwarber, then you have two guys on base for those guys most likely. That's the thing. Justin Crawford, he ain't gonna solve shit. I'm sorry. He just isn't. You're doing a disservice to Justin Crawford at that point. Because, yeah, maybe the ground ball rate, maybe it does translate well. That's what his major knock is. He doesn't lift the ball in the air. He's also not that good of a defender either. So you're actively also making your outfield defense possibly worse in the process with that fact too. I just don't think Justin Crawford. I know you're not saying Justin Crawford's going to solve the entire thing. You're just saying what else do you have to lose? I just don't think that's the answer. I really just don't think that's the answer. No, I got nothing else. Justin Crawford just really, I don't know. I'm just not sold on it, personally, in my opinion. Just not sold on the Justin Crawford experience. Look at his numbers. Stats. His ground ball rate. At a baseball savant. Let's see. So this was 2023. So it goes from 2023. 2023, his ground ball rate was nearly 70%. And 2024 was over 60% at 61. What was it? What is his ground ball rate this year? What is his ground ball rate this year? Does it say anything right here about his ground ball rate? He still has a high ground ball rate. Does it have a specific stat right here? Do I have a specific number on the ground ball rate? Those are splits. That's not going to show me it. Would Fangraphs show me that? Maybe. Maybe Fangraphs would show me that. His 2025 ground ball percentage. Where is his ground ball percentage? Where is it at? Where is it at? Where is the ground ball percentage at? Just trying to see. That's walk percentage. That's strikeout. Batting average on balls in play. Nope. Advanced. Maybe it's over here. Grounding into double plays. Base running. Ground ball. Where's ground ball? We got walk percentage, strikeout percentage, walk to strikeout ratio. Blah blah blah. Where's the ground ball? Ball percentage. Can I please have that? Here we go. Ground ball percentage 2025. So is it just okay that it shows the entirety of minor league baseball in the stat? Okay. So far this year in AAA, he has a ground ball percentage of 62%. Ground ball percentage of 62%, line drive percentage of 20.5, and a fly ball percentage of 17.4. So, and then looking at his entire, he pulls at 32%. He hits the opposite, so he hits more opposite field hits. He has a 42.9% opposite field hit percentage. And then, so he hits the ball to center field less than whatever he does. Yeah, so ground ball, obviously he hits a lot of ground balls, does not hit the ball in the air, obviously. So he's a ground ball line drive hitter, that's what he is. More ground ball than not. But then that comes to the fact, you're playing in minor league baseball where the defense probably isn't good. Or as good as it would be in Major League Baseball. And granted, yes, he could be finding holes and all that stuff, but still, we all know how scorecards and score sheets and scorekeepers, they're very friendly towards fielders these days. I'm sure they're like that in minor league baseball too, where maybe a play that should have been recorded as an error got recorded as a hit, and that improves the numbers for the batter. So, I'm just putting it out there. I'm just saying that his numbers, while they are still good, I'm not denying that his numbers are good, because his numbers, I'm looking at more, Jesus Christ. 329 average, 413 on base, 435 slug. WRC plus of 130. Does he have an OPS plus? Does he have an OPS plus here on Fangraphs? OPS plus. Where be his OPS plus? Does not show that. Does not show that. For some reason, I expected the Fangraphs to show that. I guess they were not going to. I don't know. I'm sorry. I just don't think it translates. I just personally do not think it will translate. Now, maybe I would be proven wrong, but I just don't think they're going to. And you think with Dave Nabrowski's comments, he says that, oh, we think Justin Crawford's major league ready. We just don't have the playing time for him. That probably also tells me that they don't think he's ready. That probably tells me that they don't think he's ready, in my personal opinion. I just think that's the case. Now, would Justin Crawford be better than Otto Kemp at this point? Oh, yeah, 100%. Probably I would rather go through that experience. I'm sure, does Otto Kemp get sent down when Alec Bohm comes back? Maybe. That maybe would be the case. I just don't know what else you do. They're not going to DFA Kepler. I just don't see that happening. They're not going to do anything. God, like I said, I just don't see what they're going to do. I just don't see what they're going to do. They're not going to DFA Kepler. The only thing I would see them doing is maybe sending down Otto Kemp. That's the only other thing I would see them doing. So, I got nothing else for you guys. I just, Not buying into the Otto Kemp experience. Not buying into it. I rather would have traded him for a better bat. So, that's where I stand. And that's where I stand for tonight. So, that'll do it, everybody. I'll see. We'll see what happens tomorrow. They play tomorrow night. Washington, Jesus Luzardo on the mound against Brad Lord. We'll see where that goes. Gotta win at least 3 or 4 in Washington. I want sweep, but you gotta win 3 or 4 at least. So, thanks guys for tuning in. I appreciate y'all. Enjoy the rest of your night. Brodes, he's on WIP right now, so he probably will be posting something from WIP. So you'll probably see that later on. So yeah, then I'll be editing that later on as well. So appreciate you guys for tuning in tonight. Yeah. Side note, I wouldn't have minded Miguel Andujar. Yeah, I wouldn't mind of him either. Like, Harrison Bader's bat I don't mind. It's just that Harrison Bader couldn't have been the only bat. If you got Harrison Bader and maybe also Miguel Andujar, I would like that. I would like that. It's just that he was the only bat. I'm not saying I don't like Harrison Bader. I do like Harrison Bader. It's just that he couldn't be the only bat you got. So that's where I stand. So appreciate you guys. We'll see what happens tomorrow. We'll see. We'll be back here tomorrow to recap it as always. So don't forget to leave a comment in the comment section down below. Don't forget to drop a like. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. It does me a great deal of service. Also use the code TTPSPORTS, $20 off your first purchase at SEATGEEK. Great deal. Don't pass it up. And hopefully enjoy the rest of your night. So we'll see what happens with the Phillies tomorrow after their game and start the series in Washington. But for now, I'll see you guys next time.